Hello and welcome back to A Cultural Mess. Today I'm going to talk about how was it planning my destination wedding in Italy. So what I did is I came up with 10 likely questions that you would ask me, and I'm gonna answer them. If you have more questions or something else that I didn't cover, please leave it in the comments and I'll definitely get back to you. I will also leave a list of the suppliers for that we really loved in our wedding below with the links, because if you do decide to have a destination wedding in Italy, then please contact them. They are amazing. So why did you decide on a destination wedding? Like, are you rich? No, we are most definitely not rich. Yeah, it came down to maximizing our budget, and rather than having just one day celebration, we were having a full week celebrating and actually spending time with our guests. I've noticed that in big weddings or just weddings, people the bride and the groom, they don't usually enjoy the wedding because they see people, they're hugging people, they say hi, thank you for coming, and then bye. So that was one thing that I really wanted to avoid. I wanted us to enjoy our wedding, make it very stress-free and just have fun with it. All right, so let's start. First question. How did you decide on a destination wedding? Well, it kind of started as a joke. We had been chatting about getting married. The plan was to get married in Cape Town, where we live. So I had started getting some quotes, and the venue that I really wanted was way too expensive for literally like a day. But the one thing that became quite clear for us when we were planning was that it was the first time our families were gonna meet. Obviously my family from Brazil, his family from the US. So we didn't want to basically have our families just meet on the day of the wedding or just once or twice before. We really wanted them to spend time together and actually get to know each other and find out what we were marrying into. So from the get-go, we were looking for places where we could stay, even if just for like 3 nights, So the venues that I was looking in Cape Town, they were really not affordable. And I kept thinking, other than that, like, where are we going to host our families that are going to be in town? Like, with hosting everyone in South Africa, in Cape Town, there would be a lot of back and forth, like, and coordinating everyone, like if we wanted to take them around. But I mean, like, everybody would be spread out in town, so it's gonna be, I was seeing this, like, this is gonna actually be so stressful. I am not gonna enjoy my wedding. So that was a big factor. And the costs that I was getting for venues, they were pretty high, like so much so that I started looking for just one day, and I even found like them to be quite steep. The one thing that we realized is that at the time, my husband's brother had 2 small kids. They were 5 and 7 at the time, I think. And the trip from the US to Cape Town was 40 hours. And we knew it was just too long. Like, there was no way that they were going to, it wasn't fair to put that on the kids. Like 40 hours, like, that's a long journey for a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old. That was the first thing we had to decide. What is the wedding going to be about? Are we going to focus on our families, or is the priority friends? So we decided for families, sorry friends. But yeah, that obviously became a priority for us. So these things became big hindrances, and I was struggling to make sense of finding a place that would work for what we wanted in Cape Town. So then in this back and forth, I remember we were chatting one day and I was like, ha ha ha, let's do like the famous people do. Let's rent a villa somewhere and put everyone in there and get married there. And we laughed and laughed and laughed. But that was kind of like the seed had been planted. So I was like, I know it's never gonna happen. So let me just look. And then I'll email and I'll get this crazy price and I'll just get it off my system, you know, like we can move on and come up with a different plan. So then we were like, okay, well, if we were to do this destination and the villa story, where would we look? And Europe kind of made sense because from the US it's obviously a much shorter trip. And my parents had been in South Africa quite a few times, so, and we've always spoke about let's actually meet somewhere and actually have a trip together as a family. So I thought, let's just go to Europe, you know. But in that thinking, I was like, that's definitely not gonna happen because it's too expensive. I think the countries that stood out the most, like, oh, what would be like a romantic destination to go to? So in my mind, what came up was Italy and France, you know, the love. So I remember emailing a few chateaus in France and quite a few villas in Italy. There were some other random European places, but I remember in the end of the day, like it was very much between France and Italy, but there was something that was calling me to Italy. I felt like renting a villa in Tuscany because, you know, that's what you see in movies and famous people. So I remember contacting a few places. I remember the first place I looked was actually Airbnb, accommodation for 16 plus, because we obviously assume if we're gonna do this, we're just expecting our immediate families to come. So I thought, let's just look how much it would cost to rent for a week a place that can sleep like 16 people. And the prices that I was getting I was shocked at how affordable it was compared to the prices I was getting here in Cape Town. I was like, oh my gosh, like this could actually work. So that was pretty crazy. So yeah, so the second question that came up was, why did you decide for Italy? In the end of the day, it came down to really having this deeper connection, like my whole life with my grandfather, like being from Italian descent, like there was this underlying Italianness that I was always very much curious about it. And the villas we found were really nice. The people that replied were very nice. And I also remember chatting to a friend and she was saying like that she had visited both France and Italy. And I remember her saying like, in Italy people are alive, you know? So that was really cool, like so like fun. I thought, well, that sounds like us. So yeah, so that's how the whole thing came about. It definitely started with as a joke. Okay, number 3. What did your families think about? I think my mom at first, I remember I spoke to her probably, and she probably laughed. She thought like, are you crazy? There's no ways like that we can afford it. It's just not gonna happen. So when I came back with numbers, it's like, oh, okay, maybe it could happen. I think our families were really supportive from the beginning. They thought we were crazy without a doubt, but they thought what a fun adventure it would be. And what did our friends think about? I think it was in between, because obviously that meant that a lot of them couldn't come to our wedding, and we did understand that, obviously. But we did try to cater to our friends as well, in the sense that before we left for a wedding, we made kind of like a send-off party, which was really special because we then actually got to celebrate with everyone we would have celebrated with had we decided to have the wedding here in Cape Town. So that was pretty special. Like we had speeches and it was quite quite a fun gathering. Number 5, how did you choose the villa? I think it all started when I was looking for different suppliers. I was looking for a photographer actually in Italy. We had kind of decided we wanted to be in Tuscany, and then I saw the pictures that he took from this villa, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this place? It has everything I've ever wanted. Like, it's amazing. So then I went straight into the villa. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this place? It's like an amazing region in Tuscany, like exactly in the area we're looking for. So I contacted them, and the price was much more affordable. We could have exclusive use of the villa, and they had extra accommodations should friends come up. Decide to come and stay. So I was like, wow, this is perfect. So I contacted them. So we decided to go with Quechao Poggio, and it's a wine farm. They make their own wine that we absolutely love it. So yeah, it was quite an accidental find for sure. How did you choose your suppliers? I actually found a website, I think it was called matrimonio.it, and they basically, it's a website for wedding suppliers according to the region, and most of them definitely came from there. The catering was actually a scary story, because we had kind of almost given the go-ahead with someone, and then a month before the wedding, communication just wasn't working. Things weren't clear, we weren't sure what we were getting and for the money we were spending. So then last minute I just found this other caterer, and it was the best decision, even though it was last minute and was quite stressful. Like, yeah, I can't recommend Class Ricevimenti more than. They are amazing. Martina she was a fairy. She really was. She came and she helps, like, don't worry about it, we're gonna have it all covered. So we really had like an amazing caterer. Like, yeah, she was amazing. Music I also found from this website. We had a string quartet playing just for the ceremony and just like shortly after, and it was so magical. Like, obviously I realized being a bride, you kind of miss out on the pre-wedding stuff, so like so I was a bit sad that I didn't enjoy them as much, but just walking down the aisle, my guests seemed to have liked them a lot. They were super like friendly. Yeah, I absolutely love them. My videographer, it was probably one of the best investments we've made in the wedding. My husband wasn't really keen on it. Like, oh, you're not gonna watch your wedding video. Ha ha ha. Who's laughing now? Yeah. Katia Crispin, wow, she's like amazing, super professional. Like, communication with her was amazing, her work is amazing, and honestly, like, we watch our wedding video all the time. Like, she made a trailer that is not too long, we watch that all the time. I'll leave a link below if you're interested in looking. She is incredible, absolutely love her work. Our photographer, so I was telling you about finding a photographer who was way out of our budget. So we were like, oh, what are we gonna do? I know so many amazing photographers in South Africa. Wouldn't it be great if we just flew one of them with us? And our friend Helena from Yeah Photography, I was like, wow, she's a friend. Like, how special would it be to have a friend at our wedding? So we actually organized with her, and her husband came as well, Josh, we absolutely love them, and the photos came out like exactly what we wanted. Like, go for Yeah Photography. Helena, she's amazing behind the cameras. So yeah, and we made it that extra special, like, because they actually came almost with us, so we spent a week and a half with them in Italy, which was such fun. It was such fun. My makeup artist, that was a little bit of a letdown. My hair and makeup, you gotta have yourself a Lydia in your bridal party, because she will come through. Because I remember I went to my appointment to have a trial, and my hair was completely, the lady did not know what to do about my hair. She was just not getting it. Even though I sent emails and explained and double check, can you do this hairstyle? Yeah. No, they couldn't. The makeup wasn't, it was good. I actually didn't dislike it. Yeah, I like the way I look in our pictures. I would have changed a few things, but it was fine. So yeah, my suggestion as far as destination weddings, unless you're really gonna invest in it, like, and actually hire someone who is amazing, really try and invest in learning it yourself. My hair was amazing because of my bridesmaid that stepped up the plate big time and helped us, helped me achieve what I wanted. She was amazing. Thanks, Lee. Wedding planner, I also found her at forum for destination brides. Yeah, she came very well recommended, but I must say that was probably the one thing that we regret investing in it, because I ended up having to do everything anyway, and on the day, the things that I asked her to do, she never caught my vision. Even though I sent her copious amount of emails and pictures of what I wanted, it was very much disappointing. So once again, if you are investing in a wedding planner, make sure you know exactly what you're getting for. And even though mine came very well recommended, I really felt, it wasn't worth it. Number 8, did you plan fun activities for the guests? Basically, I created our itinerary, mine and Erin's, what we were going to be doing. So I sent around to our guests what our plan was and said everyone is welcome to join us. We would love to do this, like, exploring trips with you, but also feel free to do go your own way, and we'll meet at night for dinner or something. We were cooking together for the most part, and then we had a rehearsal. It wasn't a dinner, it was a churrasco. It was a long lunch, afternoon lunch with all our guests, and then everyone came over to the villa. We had that. We did wine tasting with them at the villa and olive oil tasting. It was amazing. We loved it. The day before the wedding was really lots of fun. So it was quite fun because it gave us a chance to create all these memories prior to our wedding with our guests and our families. I totally think destination weddings are amazing. How many guests did we have? Well, we had originally planned for 20 because it was just our immediate friends and family. But our friends really stepped up the plate and we ended up having 40. It was literally double what we had originally planned, but it was so amazing. Like, I wouldn't have changed that for the world. It was incredible how friends who had great surprises of friends are like, oh, we're coming. You're like, yay. So that was great. Number 9, how much did it cost? I had 2 budgets going on. The budget if we were planning our wedding in South Africa and if we were to plan our wedding in Italy. And they weren't terribly different. Obviously, we stayed a week in Italy, so that went a bit over, but we got more value for money than just one day in Cape Town. It was probably a little bit more than would have been in South Africa, but not by much. And it was, memories that will last forever, for sure. Number 10, did you have any regrets? I did mention, I think our wedding planner was probably the one thing that we wouldn't have, either should have hired someone else, or because she wasn't used to working in the area that we were having a wedding on. So I think she should have just said, listen, I'm out of my depth, so maybe try someone else, or I should have found someone from the area, or just done it myself, like really, because that's basically what ended up happening. Yeah, I think investing a little more on makeup. The hair, Lydia came through and it came out exactly what I wanted, so thanks Lee again. But the makeup, I think I would have wanted a little extra. But absolutely no regrets. So yeah, this is what my experience was planning a destination wedding. I hope it helps you or someone if you know that they are planning a destination wedding. It can be quite scary, obviously, because you're in a different country planning something in another country. But it can be done, and the memories will definitely pay off. If you guys want to know like more details, something that I didn't cover, please leave the comment in the comments below. Like and share this video for people that you think would also be interested in finding out more. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.